Right. Good morning, my dear student. So today in the economic entomology class, we are going to study the apiculture. The apiculture, so you will know the expectation, you should know the expectation of the course. So today from this class, we are going to learn what is the apiculture and the importance of the apiculture to the agriculture and the environment, and the different caste systems in honeybees, and age determinant polytheism and mode of communication of honeybees. So these are the expectation of from this apiculture section. So we will go through the definition first. So apiculture, the term is very important in the study in these sections, because the apiculture, it means rearing of honeybees in broad sense called apiculture. It's a broader sense. So this includes both honey production or the wax production or the crop pollination. In the broad sense, if you are going to rear the honeybees for the broad purpose, we call it as an apiculture. So apiculture has to do the management and scientific background for the management of the honeybees, usually for the maybe honey production, or maybe wax production, or maybe for the crop pollination. So in the broad sense, we call it as an apiculture. The beekeeping is a second term. So this second term explains rearing of bees usually for the honey production. Only for, if you are rearing honeybees for the honey production, we call it as a beekeeping. If you are rearing honeybee for the broad sense, we call it as an apiculture. Apiarist or the beekeeper mean the person who are rearing the honeybee, we call it as an apiarist. Mean if you are rearing the honeybee, you may be called as an apiary, right? Apiary. So where you are rearing your honeybees, we call it as an beejat or apiary. So these are the different technical terms you should remember always. So what is an apiculture? It's a broad sense for the rearing of honeybees for the honey production or egg production or the crop pollination. Beekeeping, this refers to the rearing of honeybees for the honey production. The person who are rearing honeybees, we call it as an apiarist or beekeeper. Where you are rearing the honeybee, we call it as a beejat or apiary, right? So this unit, we call it as an apiary unit, where you can rear the honeybees only. You have selected that place only for the honeybee rearing, or for maybe any term, so that we call it as, sometimes we call it an apiary unit. This is in the highest scientific study. So if you are a commercial rearer, then you can set up an honey apiary unit, right? So these are the definitions you should always do. So phylogenetic position. So we are going now deeper and deeper in the apiary section, apiculture section. So before going into that, we should know about the where the honeybee has been classified. So this is we call it as a phylogenetic position of the honeybees. So honeybees, more than bees is a broad, not the honeybee is a one group, right? Bees belongs to order Hymenoptera, right? In the order Hymenoptera, more than 20,000 bees, maybe honeybees, carpenter bees, and different bees, right? So the bees belongs to superfamily Apoideae. So it has divided into 11 families, right? Superfamily Apoideae, it consists 11 families. These families that includes a honeybee, we call it as an Apidae, right? So where the honeybee, if a question asks which is the family of honeybee, we should tell immediately this belongs to family Apidae, order Hymenoptera, right? Phylum Arthropoda, kingdom Animalia. These are the things. So this is we call it as a phylogenetic position. So the honeybees belongs to family Apidae. In the Apidae family, it consists, there are two subfamilies. Apidae, D-A-E, Apidae meaning the family. subfamilies, two subfamilies, we call it as an Inae. It is finishing with an Inae. Epinae and Meliponidae. Right? Meliponidae and Epinae. There are two subfamilies. Why we are classifying two subfamilies? One is sting bees. They have the sting. So they are dangerous bees. We call it as an, that if the honeybee is having the sting, we call it as an true honeybees. True honeybees belongs to subfamily Epinae. Other one is stingless bees. We call it as an Dhamma bees, right? Dhamma bees. So this is belongs to subfamily Meliponidae. We are called as a stingless bees. Family Epinae, sting bees. So this is having only one genus. We call it as an Apis. So in the Apis, so more than 7 species. So in the world, it has now more than 7 species. So 7 species are important for the honey production. So more than 7 species has been reported. The stingless bees also, it belongs to, there are 2 genus. One is Trigona, other one is Melipona, right? Meliponidae. So Meliponidae, you can remember there are 2 genus, Trigona and Melipona. Trigona and Melipona. So our important bees for honey production. So this is sting bees, true honeybees. That true honeybees we are going to rear. Not all. Some bees we have domesticated. Domesticated bees we are only going to rear. So there are in the world, it has been 7 species important for the honey production, or honey produced from these 7. Some are artificially rearing, some are in the natural. We are collecting honeybee from the natural forest, or some of these tree trunks, tree hollow trunks, so caves, right? Some of this. This is Apis cerana indica. We call it as an Asiatic hive honeybees. We call it as a me bee, right? Me bee. This Apis cerana is indica. This is mainly we are rearing Apis cerana indica, and even home we are rearing this one, Asiatic. Another one is the Apis costinoki. This is a red hive bee of Borneo. So some areas of the Sri Lanka. Another one is the Apis mellifera. It's an African and European honeybees. We call it as an African and European honeybee. Apis dorsata, giant bee or the bumblebee. That is a dangerous bee. So in highland of the Sri Lanka, many people every year, or many people are being attacked by this bee. They are very dangerous bees. We call it as a bumblebee, right? So rock bees. It's an Apis laboria. So the Apis labosia is, we call it as an Himalayan giant bee. This is mainly found in India, Himachal Pradesh, right? Apis florea, we call it as a little honeybee or the dwindle bee. Apis anberniformis is we call it as a little honeybee, or the dwindle bee of Thai or Malayan regions. Malaysia, Thailand honeys we are getting, or imported from many countries. The honeys you can get it for. This is because from these dwindle and little honeybees, right? Little honeybees. So only in Sri Lanka, the people have domesticated Apis cerana indica. That's what many apiary unit people are rearing artificially to get. These bumblebee or the rock bees, they are natural bees, but they are very dangerous bees. So it's a hive you can find in the open places, even rocks and the mountain rocks or high buildings, scrapers, you can get it, but it is very dangerous. You cannot rear it, right? So this is the phylogenetic position of the honeybees. So in Sri Lankan scenario, if we are taking the Sri Lankan conditions, there are 4 species that has been reported. So these species, 3 are sting bee, 1 is stringless bees. String bees are 3 groups. First 3 are hive honeybee, gain honeybee, little honeybee. These 3 are sting bees. 1 is stingless bees. So stingless honeybees, Strigona iridipens. We call it as a Dhamma bee. Somewhere else, tree trunks or in the shade dark areas, you can find it with the blackish waxy-like materials, like an used oil, right? So small hole, it is going and coming in. So this is with Trigona iridipens. So this Trigona iridipens also producing honey. It's very 50 gram, 225 gram like that, right? But Apis cerana, so as I mentioned earlier, this is mostly rare by the apiary. For beekeepers, this is mainly in the rock. This little honeybee also, sometimes you can find it in the trees, right? So it is not rearable, little honeybee. So Apis cerana is rearing people. The members of Apis well-developed stings, but Dama bees only has a vestigial one, right? So only these three having the well-developed sting. So therefore, you have to be very careful while handling of these honeybees. So information regarding the different honeybees, these 4 species in Sri Lanka, according to the size of the hive and the type of comb constructions, honey produced per the year and domesticated or non domesticated, the nature of the home and sting, whether the sting is present or not, whether it is having the migratory character or not, or number of individual per colony. So according to that, so if you are taking that Apis dorsata, this is the largest one. That's what I told you. It's an open space. It produced 20 to 35 kilogram of honey, but it is not domesticated. Single hive you can find. So the present in migratory. The population number is 25,000 nearly in the peak season. Apis florea, very similar open space. This is, I told you, in the T branches we can find 0.5 to 1 kilogram of honey is produced, but this is also a single hive. It's a migratory, nearly 5,000 members or something. Apis cerana, this is medium, right? So hive size is medium, but it is producing 7 parallel hives. It's producing 7 parallel hives, not migrated, but it is domesticated. Right? Not migrated, but it is domesticated. Members, number of members may be 20,000 to 30,000 per colony. Right? So Trigona, it depends. So as I mentioned, that very smallest, not domesticated, it's not dangerous, nearly 500 to 1,000 members per colony you can find it. So what is the importance of apiculture? Why we want to culture, why we want to rear the api? Honeybees, why we want to conserve the honeybees. So this video clip is explaining what are the importance of the honeybee. You can enjoy that one. So other than that, I have mentioned that here you can read. right? So from this video, you would have learned, see, why bees are important other than that. So especially from the honeybee, other than that he mentioned in the video clips, so bee waxes and these are the product from the honeybees. That is the video clips mentioned that the direct benefit. These are the indirect benefit also. They are the bee waxes. Bee waxes nowadays we are using for the sealing of unauthorized materials or confidential materials. So we are using for the seals for covering of the fruits. Bee wax. Nowadays fruits are coated with the wax. These are bee waxes. And these also extractions for the bee wax extraction we are also using as a propolis. Propolis is like a varnish. The paint we are mixing these waxes to the paints. And also royal jelly. Royal jelly means so jelly produced by the pharyngeal gland of the worker bees. This is we call it as a royal jelly. Why? If the honeybee brood, means young one larva, is fed with the royal jelly, only can develop as a queen. Otherwise, it can't be queen, right? So therefore, we call it as a royal jelly, means a king, right? So that's what this in the many weddings, right? So royal jelly is given to the peoples. It's an indication that they are of the royal families and the royal parties, right? So the food, honey is and we use as a food. Honey and medicinal values. There are Ayurvedic medicines. Honey is the pharmaceuticals are mixed with that. Extractions are mixed with that honey and people are eating. So other than that one, so it has been mentioned that without honeybees, so $15 billion loss annually for the crop production. Right, 15 billion. So because these are the big pollinators, as well as they are creating variation among the crops. Otherwise, there will be no variation among the plants, right? No variation. So that's what. So we have to rear the honeybees, or we have to protect the honeybees. What sort of dangers I will discuss later due to the man-made activities, how these bee keeping has been affected, or the natural bee diversity has been affected due to these man-made activities. So the honeybees, so now you are very clear about the terms and the definitions and the colony sizes of the honeybees, different species, and the importance of the honeybees. Now we are looking and deeply digging into the honeybees. So these honeybees are the social insects. We call it as a social insect. So they are living as a group, as like human being. The human is a social animal. Like that, the honeybees is the first insect group. Honeybees and the termites and some ant groups are we call it as a social insects. So because they are living together. As like the heart system in the human being, we develop this heart system, and from these insects, very interesting insects, because well-organized heart systems are there in these honeybee groups. Under natural conditions, they are living in cavities, trees and caves. It's like your home, right? Like your home. These insects, they are making their own home with very good ventilation. You need not air conditions. So nowadays we are making homes and making the air conditions. But these insects, these social insects, including honeybees, they are making the well-sized cells. So each and every cells are equal in size. How these insects measured? Right? So they are measuring with their antenna in the head, right? Size. It's a hexagonal shape of each and every cells. It's an equal size. They are making the parallel home. It's a horizontally. It's an engineering technology. Nowadays developed, we are making these scrappers, tall buildings. They learn from this, how these insects build, especially from the termite nests and these honeycombs. They build multiple homes in layer, hanging vertically. You see from this tree, they are just sticking this with their wax and they are hanging. So it will not never fall. So in this technology, they are developed by these social insects. Cells, so they are making like different rooms we are dividing for our living, our homes, right? So dining room, kitchen, like that. So in the honey home also, the honey hives also, they have the different chamber, like rooms. This is for laying eggs. This is for rearing larvae. This is for rearing pupa. This is for storing honey. This is for storing pollen. This chamber for only living all the workers. This chamber is only working for the drones. Drones are male honeybees. This chamber is particularly very well designed, different chamber for the queen. There is no king, only queen. It's a woman-headed family. We call it as a woman-headed family. This is only the single woman. So the single woman means this woman is only producing fertile offspring. The single woman can maintain more than 25,000 to 50,000 members, right? Imagine how they are maintaining. The administration is happening. And I will discuss later, so how it is administrated, right? So these have one queen, only one queen, right? It's live to serve her. They make straw honey to survive the winter. So they are collecting and storing food for the winter and off seasons. Like the human being, like the social animals, how it is behave, these bees are the behaves. So this teaches lesson of work and work with cooperation. The honeybees are very active insects. They will not be lazy. Every time in the day, they will work. No gossiping, no chatting with other people. They are working as like a militaries. So because this is order from the queen, they are working. Right? It's a well-organized division of labor. They have the different division like the militaries. This battalion, aviation battalion, or the land troops and these armored car brigade, like that. So different division of labors are there. This division of labors in the human being we are practicing as a caste. So different caste. So blacksmith, the goldsmith for the laborers, and like that different caste system the human developed. So this caste system developed originally in insects for the based on their capacity to work, capacity to handle a particular job. Now, so we are developed this caste system by we are suppressing the other caste. We are dominant like that. But this is because of this division of labor developed based on the ability to do the job. Everybody can't do any jobs, right? So some are very specific, right, to do a particular job. So that's what the well-organized system division of labors are there in the honeybee. So the medium honeybees, so it can consist of 300 to 500 drones. Number of males are less. Only the ladies, the worker bees are all females. And the queen is female. Only 300 to 500 males. Other all are 25,000 to 35,000 are females. These 25,000 to 35 females are non-fertile. Only queen can produce egg and produce offspring. How these are non-fertile? Because of this queen producing certain substances will not allow to develop that ovary and to become these workers to fertile. That is the mechanisms maintained, right, by these minute insects, how to maintain. So the drones and the queen, they can mate and produce offspring. Or if not mated, it will produce drones. Drones are single egg, non-fertile egg. The female queen can produce fertile eggs and non-fertile eggs. Only the fertile eggs can produce workers. Non-fertile eggs produce drones. Drone numbers are less. Why drones? They are producing drones to fertilize the queen. Otherwise, in the off seasons, they will kill the drones because they are not needed to. Otherwise, the wastage of food collected of they will not collect the food. The collected food by the workers, they will eat now. So they will kill it. the drones. So these are the things we have to learn from these honeybees, how the single queen can control all the members in the hive. So drones dies after mating. So immediately after, if the one drone get mated with the queen, it will die. That is a mechanism. Why? So this mechanism, it is there in the insects to prevent from the inbreeding. Every time one drone is breeding with the queen means inbreeding. So create a variation. After mating, it will die another drone, right? And also, so queen will mate with more than one drones in a particular time. Only queen will mate with one time only. Otherwise, so after, once it mated, continuously it produce eggs until it die, like an egg producing engine. In its life, more than 2 lakhs egg it can lay. 2 lakhs egg. Imagine, right? The worker bees possess powerful sting. The only workers having the stings, these stings are very powerful. And queen also having a sting, it will not use anymore. Only it will use against another queen. It's a very interesting thing. So only if you are touching the hive, who are the people attack you? The workers. Workers are attacking you. So they have the poison glands. So these once it's attacked at you, definitely the sting will broken. So broken down. So this worker will die because this broken in sting will create an injury on the worker. Worker will die. Only one punch. So imagine that how this system is, interesting system is working. So some fact of the honeybees, other than that, so they are, so 25, I told you 25 to 35,000 members. How they are communicating? They have the WhatsApp, they have the Facebook, they having the Viber. How they are communicating with the 25,000 to 35,000 people in a day? Quickly. So that's how they are using another communication technology. This technology is people, scientists are now learning how it is working, right? So one queen can order for 25,000 workers at a day, at a time, right? This is we call it as a chemical and physical communication. Chemical communication is mainly we call it as an hormones involved, different hormones produced for the different purposes. And physical communication we call it as a bee dance. So bees will dance it if they are finding some foods and where this food is available, how much of food is available, by using a dance, like not a break dance, like they are using a different type of dance to explain the others where the food source is there, how long from, how far from the hive, and in which direction. Accurately they will tell or inform to the fellow workers. Mean forage bees, the honey, the pollen carrying or nectar carrying bees. There are different groups, and I will explain to that in the honeybees workers also, they have the division of labors. Right? First, we will see the host or number of hosts of the honeybees, then we will study the division of the found in the workers. Right? The workers make a hive from the workers. Workers mean working. From the born until die, they have assigned different roles according to the ages. Right? I will explain. Like, but for example, if you're taking from the birth, right, immediately after birth, from the 1 week of the birth, so their role is to cleaning the nest, like the juniors. But you will tell, do that cleaning jobs. Some after 1 week to 2 weeks, what is maybe the role? They're carrying the water, right, from there somewhere else from the outside to carry the water. So some in mature bees, bit mature, they have to fanning. So fanning the house, like an air conditioner we are fitting. So they have to fanning the hive for air conditioning. Some much more mature workers, so they have to go for somewhere else to collect the food, foraging bees. Some are guards, bodybuilders, all right? Some mature, they have the guards. They have to protect from the enemies to enter, like a security. So different laborers, and we will study like. So the workers' main role is to they are the people, they are producing the wax. They are the people, they are making the engineering works, right? construction works. They have to make a cell for their life, cell for the laying eggs, cell for the storing honey, cell for the storing pollen, cell for the larva, cell for the pupa, everything they have to make their own. But the sizes are very accurate for the different purposes and different setting. Sometimes if you are going to store, you have made the locker. Like that, they have the honey in a very safe area. No one can go in. All the workers cannot access that area. Some of the privileged people can access. Like that, this system is very interesting in the honeybees. It is estimated that so for a pound, 1 pound honey, for the production of 1 pound, 25,000 flights they have to do. 25,000 flights mean one time go, one time come. So 1 flight, 2, 3, like that 25,000 one single bee is flying only. It can produce 1 pound of honey. If it is 1 pound of honey, it is collect. That's how it needs a collection of work. Many people need for doing the jobs, but simply we are getting that honey. We're stealing that honey production from these bees and must be collected necessary nectar and also to have to process it. So it also must visit around 2 million flowers to make a pound. 2 million flowers it needs to make 1 pound of honey and has to fly 55,000 miles. To imagine that, how honeybees are working. Very hard work. But simply we are stealing that honey. We are eating for different purposes. They are doing very good jobs, beneficial jobs to the biodiversity, but nasty human, what he is doing? They are killing the bees. They are telling that bees are dangerous, then attack. But they are stealing from the honeybees product. Honey, the honeys, waxes and everything. They are helping for the production, crop production. Without honeybees, there is no agriculture, no production, no people will die. The people should not understand that what's the importance of honey. They are very seriously thinking about COVID-19. COVID-19 we need, because with the human they are doing the bad jobs now. They have to remove these human beings from the society or the country or from the globe. Now, population of the human has increased. That's how nature sent the COVID-19 to kill the people. As a biologist, I can say 50% of the world population should die to survive all the living organism in harmonious way in the earth. Right? So if I am telling like that, the people will kill me, but it's the truth. And honeybee in the Oregon, some honeybees are very aggressive. So why bees are getting aggressive? Because you are encroaching their places. You are over application of insecticide and creating that bees to become a tension to hormone imbalance. So that's what the bees are getting tension, that they are attacking you. So you are encroaching everywhere. You are clearing the forest. They have where they can survive. That's what elephants nowadays. Earlier the bees are very, how do we call, non-aggressive. Now we are aggressive, coming back aggressive because people are encroaching their places. That's what bees are aggressive. Elephants, they are non-aggressive earlier. Now we are aggressive. Why? People are encroached. They learned a lesson from the human being. They are attacking, right? Retaliating the human beings. So they are these animals, or the nature is pushing back human to the hunter-gathered period. It will happen, you see. So if you are waiting for some times. So this is the bee morphology and the anatomy and the physiology of the bees, honeybees. You would have learned that one. So for the successful survival, for the successful working, for the continuous successful working of the bees, they have, then each and every morphology is well suited for the fittest to the survival. Modification, you would have learned that one. 3 pairs of legs. These 3 pairs of legs has been modified for the different purposes. First leg, the front leg. So this is you have in the antennal lodge. This is for antenna cleaning. So because it's go bees going in the flowers, coming out, the different pollens fit because it's having the strong hairs, no, very hairs, very tiny, stout hairs over the body. If the pollen is covered, its antennae will fill with the pollen grain, they cannot sense properly. That's how they need a cleaner now. That's how they have the notch in between the first leg. They're putting in the antenna and cleaning like this. Yes, antennal notch. The middle leg, they have the two things. One is a brush. So these tarsus are developed for the pollen brushing. This tarsus is helping for the pollination. Why? So while the bees taking the pollen, they are accidentally doing the pollination. These accidental jobs are benefits for humans. Right? Their target is they want the pollen. They are stealing pollen from the flower. So by grabbing, this pollen pack will rupture it and pollination will happen. Pollen will go there. If one bee is collecting now pollen from here, right? If it is collected, then again it will go to the next flower. Since this pollen is going there, For example, in the fashion fruit, it needs pollination. Who are the people doing? These bees are natural. Honeybees are doing the pollination for many plants. Otherwise, you cannot enjoy the nice fruits. One such another example is a tomato. Right? Tomato. Other than that, many other crops also. So they are doing the pollen. So pollen brush are there. The pollen brush is keeping the pollens one and rolling as a keep. And also in the middle leg, you can find a needle-like structure. This needle we call it as a wax opener. So in the bottom side of the honeybees, they have the wax gland. The wax gland is always sealed. So if they want to wax it, they have to pierce and it should open. So they have the needle in the middle leg to pierce and open the wax. When they need the wax for the home building or other purpose, it will use it. Again, it will automatically seal it. Right? The hind legs, they have the pollen bags. So whatever the pollen kept by this middle leg, it will be packed in the hind legs. They can carry 50% of the body weight of the pollen, 50% of the body weight of the pollen, and it can fly more than 5 kilometers with this weight. Right? You see these bees we call it as a forage bees, right? Forage bees. So this is pollen packer. Pack the pollen, and also meantime they are sucking the nectar continuously, and this nectar will be stored in a honey chamber. It will not go in the stomach. It will be their honey chamber. This honey chamber is there. So they will store. This is also weight. Pollen grain also weight. They are flying for more than 5 to 25 kilometers. Right? It's not the 25 kilometers, 5 to 10 kilometers. They are flying with this weight. Right? Other than that, they have the body, they have the hairs. For these all purposes, they need a well-developed antenna and the compound eye. And also they have the dorsal ocelli. The dorsal ocelli here sense infrared. That's how these bees are very active even in the early morning. Right? Up to 8:39, 9:30. So when the sun is full, so they will not be active. They will return before that. That's how they are working in the green times, early morning. That's what I am taking lectures in the early morning. It's a green time. Your mind will be fresh, so you can grab more information from me. Right? So they have the well-developed compound eye. It can look even in the darks. Right? And also so the infrared can be sensible by the antenna and the ocelli. That's how it can fly night. So that's what if you are throwing a stone to the hive, in a second, the bees, the guard bees will come and attack you. That is the way they are sensing the things, right? So that's how these morphologies and physiologies well suited for fittest to the survival. Even a one flower, these can live. The flower can live. So because that's how the God is given, the nature is given this modification to the honeybees. Right? Modification to the honeybees. And also they have the wing coupling mechanism too. And for the protection, they have the sting. Right? Or they have the sting, weapons. All these things they have. That's what we call as a honeybee. Honeybees are industrious. We are comparing people, you should be industrious, means very active, industrious. Right? Industrious. So now you are very clear about honeybee, the interesting things we are learning. So now we are going into the caste system as a honeybee. So in the honeybee hive, if you are taking the honeybee, there are 3 different morphologically different peoples are there. Some differences, size, and some of these anatomical parts are missing. So we call it as a worker, queen, drone. The worker is a smaller, queen is a larger and bigger. So in between that you can find the drones. Drones are dark blackish. Drones are dark blackish. Queen is sometimes it's like a whitish color, sometimes it's a yellowish white color, slight color. So in between, the workers are in betweens. So in the drones, there is no mandible, no developed, no sting, but in the queen, mandibles are rudiment. It is there, but it is less. And sting will be there. It is not sharpened like these workers. So these workers play a major role. That's what I division of labor. One of the labor work is to, so they are feeding the queen. Queen will not feed. The workers have to give the food to the queen. Right? Feeding. Some of the people can only do that job also. All the workers cannot do. The assigned duties, assigned laborers for the queen, like PS, we are appointing now. Like only people can do the jobs to queen. Like caring of queen, catering, caring of queen. Some people can only do that. So there are 3 half systems they are present. One is worker, queen, drone. Workers is 2N, queen is 2N, drone is single N. Drone from the non-fertilized egg. These are the sizes of the workers and drones and queens. Right? You see worker, drone, queen. See how much sizes. So if you are taking the worker bee, the female but not fertile. Female, I told you these are the female bees, not fertile because does not lay eggs if it is there in front of the queen or in the queen area. Queen or queen area. If it is going out for a long time without queen control, that's what you know, every time bees are going out, coming in, going out, coming in, going out, coming. Why? So because it needs queen control. Otherwise, they will lust from the colony. They don't know how to communicate with that. Right? So the queen control. So normal does not lay the eggs. She does, it will be drawn. They will be drawn. If she does, they will be drawn. Right? They will be drawn. So if the queen, if the workers can also do, that's what I told you. The workers can also lay the eggs. If it is lay the eggs, it should be drawn, single end. Why? So workers' womb development, the ovary development is arrested by the queen pheromone. If the workers are not a long time away from the queen, this hormone concentration will be declined. Again, these workers' ovary will quickly develop and it will become a fertile. Right? So they can be able to lay eggs. If they laying eggs, it is non-fertile eggs, parthenogenetic. Right? Non-fertilized eggs they will lay. From that only drone can produce. This will happen if in some colonies, if the queen is died or queen is sick, right? Or swarming time. Swarming time means if honeybees are lost from the hive, many of the honeybees, or if the queen is left from the home with some members, if the queen, if this home is abandoned with that some workers, right, it can happen. It can happen. So about 20,000 to 60,000 in the colony. These numbers will vary with peak and off season. In the peak season, number of workers will be very high. The off season, it will be very less because they have to maintain the food now. Shortage of food, they don't need more members, they will kill it. Has several functions throughout the life. So the life is about 4 to 6 weeks in summer, lives in 4 to 5 means in one this in winter. Right? Stings and has the barbs. They stay in your sting. That's it can defend for the defending purposes. They are sticks. The queen, right? This is a queen, right? So in the queen you can find it. So the lightish color. So around the queen, you can see always worker will be there and touch the antenna with the queen body and the queen antenna. Why? This is a chemical communication. Signal is transmitting. Signal is transmitting queen to the workers. Their function is only laying eggs. When it's fertilized, it can lay eggs and eggs and eggs and eggs and eggs. Right? So can live 2 to 5 years. In the season, the honey flower season, so it can lay 1,500 eggs per day. You can imagine that a single day it can lay 1,500 eggs. Highly peak seasons, honey flow season, flowering season. So produce airborne pheromone called queen substances. That's what I told you, queen substance. Keep the colony functioning orderly, loyal, and protective that queen. Right? So why this pheromone suppresses the overdevelopment, orders the other workers to work. This is also for protective purposes of queen. Why? So if these substances is not produced by the queen, workers definitely kill the queen because he is not liable, he is not fit, or she is not fit. They will throw away. That's what we call as a queen role in queen pecking. They will peck and sting the queen and kill the queen. That's what the queen should produce always the substances, and also it should stay home continuously. Only can it left from the home 20 to 30 minutes. Only 1 or 2 times only the queen can go out from the home, right? That is we call it as a martial flight. We call it as a nuptial flight. Only for marriage. For the copulation only it can go out. So we call it a marriage, right? It's marriage. So this bride can go out only for single time for mating. Once it's mated, it come back, never go out. Exceptional case only for swarming. So if the queen want to produce, if the peak seasons, if the colony is very high, queen will allow the workers to develop an egg as a queen. This queen left from the home and it will make another colony with that some workers, right? Otherwise, queen also should be there. Otherwise, queen will be killed, right? Protective purpose. So that's how you see that. This is, that's how this we have developed nowadays, the female. Male dominant like that. The females, they're controlling the female, should not go out for a long time. Should come home on time. Why? Otherwise, they will. Right? So they will not rely on the queen. They have nowadays, our people also, the human being also, they have that women, they will not go out to the night or nothing. So it's not reliable. They will check their character. They will talk about the character. Like that here also. Workers will ask the character of the queen. It's a hormone control mechanism, right? So drones are developed from the unfertilized eggs, non-fertile. The single line. So larger than the worker, and they have the big guy. As the male lives a good life because they are lazy people in the honey hive. In the hive, lazy people are males. Right? Lazy people are males. The only purpose is one time mating with the queen, the drones are there, they are keeping. Otherwise, they will kill it. Right? Not useful people in the hive, the males, drones. Sexually mature at 2 weeks, one function in life mate with a virgin queens and die. Once it's mated, this sting will broke, so then they will die. Single mating and die. You see, only one time's life in the honey. If you are living in the honeybees, it's a one-time life. The mate ones in the drone congregation area, that's what I told you, the marriage, only queen can go outside for 20 to 30 minutes. That flying we call it as a nuptial flight. Before flying the queen will produce some certain pheromone. That pheromone is indicating the drones that queen is ready for mating. So the drones will fly in certain areas of the trees, right? They will wait for coming of queen, like the marriage, you know. So bride will come first, so bridegroom will come later, right? So like that, so bride will be waiting. Many brides will be waiting for the competition to mate with the female queen, one queen. So that area we call it as a drone congregation area, like the wedding hall, right? Like a wedding hall. So in the tree areas, right? In the tree areas, the drones are waiting for the female queen to mate. So it can, so this is nearly about 300 feet above the ground. You see, 300 feet dry area, their mating will happen, right? So maybe not such a good life. So once it's mated, it will die immediately. No stinger, has only one function. Only one function is mating. Survivors are forced out the hive in the fall and die. So if it is mated, but after the mating, sometimes if the sting is not broken, they are surviving. So other people will not allow to lie. The workers will kill them. Even they are after mating, killing. If some of the escaping people, they will kill it. Net will not, because otherwise inbreeding can't happen. Inbreeding can have definitely not good lives. Maybe he had another function. No function. Drones, no functional, but they need only for producing fertile eggs. So life cycle, if you are taking the life cycle of these honeybees, right, in the life cycle of the honeybees, so it's a complete metamorphosis, starting from the egg, larva, pupa, adult. Egg, larva, pupa, adult. That is we call it as a complete metamorphosis. So queen is only fertile female laying eggs. From that egg, so it will be larva developing. From this larva, it's become a mature larva and become a pupa, non-mobile, it's a mobile larva, non-mobile pupa. So then finally it become an adult. So this is an indicate how it is producing, right? Egg laid by the queen. If it is fertilized, female. If it is not fertilized, male. Males are drones. Even the fertilized female, so if they are feeding, so the fertilized egg will be there, no? Larva will be there, catch out, no? If the larva is feeding with the normal food, we call it as a bee milk. Normal food, not the royal milk. Normal food, we call it as a bee milk, is produced by the pharyngeal gland of the worker, young worker. This is called as a light feeding. It will be developed as a worker, right? We call it as a bee milk. If fertilized 1 or 2, sometimes they will feed with a heavy feeding and royal jelly. Heavy feeding with royal. Why need heavy feeding? So because if it is matured as a queen, it need to produce egg and egg and egg and egg continuously. No? They should be fit for that functions. No? That's what they are giving, the heavy feeding. And with the royal jelly, it will be developed as a queen. Right? It will be developed as a queen. If they are feeding with the royal jelly and heavy feeding, so that young one will be protected very carefully because it is going to develop as a queen now. So some of the bodyguards they always keep guard and also giving food, enough food and royal jelly that will become. So these are the life cycles. So I am stopping here with, if you won't ask any questions, please, you can ask questions.